Welcome everybody to the Just Chatting podcast, part of the Nerdschatting network. Just Chatting is a podcast for everyday people to talk about themselves and their lives. We kick off this series with an interview with Antonio Topazio, an 89-year-old Italian man living in England. This interview was originally intended for use in primary school, and we present it here for you today. Antonio speaks about growing up in Italy 80 years ago, work, World War II, accordions, the weather, kissing, and much more. If you'd be interested in taking part in this series and feel you have an interesting story to share with the world, please contact us at nerdschatting@outlook.com.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Antonio Topazio. Antonio Topazio.
How old are you?
89.
Where are you from?
Italy.
Whereabouts in Italy? What was your town called?
Campobasso is the more south to North Italy.
And can you tell us a little bit about your home?
Well, my home, it was built by my dad years ago, and it was quite a large house because I was a lot of children. I come from a family of 15, and we all lived there in this house. And later on, we had another house, which my father was administrator in a farm, and as you can see, there are two houses. That's what I had in Italy.
Can you tell us a little bit about your family, please?
Yes, well, my dad is born in 1895, my mom 1898, and my father was during the war, had little children, and we all live quite happy in the family, but a bit poor because of the war, First World War. Then, of course, the Second World War came, and that made it completely, everything went all over the place. But we was living, 11 children living. There was 5 daughters and 6 men.
Did you go to school in Italy?
Yes, at the age of the 6, that's in Italy, started when they're 6 years old. And I had school for about 4 years, and in 1939 I was 10 when the war broke up and all the schools closed, and I couldn't go anymore, so I only done 4 years. And after the war is over, I went back in the evening school, or best I can get, just to get my elementary school, which is called Quinta Classe, mean just elementary, 5 years school, and no more.
So how did World War II affect your life?
Well, very badly, because all of my enthusiasm when I was a young boy, to work in a garage, or to be a mechanic, technical mechanic, but just only I wanted to study and a bit more and get on to get in university and so on, but just I couldn't carry on because of the war, and my house was bombed, and we had to go live in different places temporarily, so just to give up the school and give up everything I want to.
So what made you move to England?
Well, as in 1950, I went in the Air Force because I have to. In Italy at the time, it's obligation to go in the army. And only if the family had more than one son killed in the war, and he allowed you not to do the service. But, you know, my mother had 2 killed in the war. And but my brother, older than me, either one didn't go. So when it comes to my turn, I have to go. Then I went for 18 months in Air Force in Sardinia. And from that, I went back home. My mother was left with just with 5 children. The young one was 5. I was 21. And the house was already as I said, you know, was broken by the bomb, and so the situation was very bad. So I tried to emigrate anywhere to get money to help my mother. So I put a name down for Australia, New Zealand, and England. Well, I don't know, fortunately, probably England called me first, and in 1952 I emigrated to England. And I arrived here in Bridgewood, and I met my wife, and I married, and I'm still here now.
Do you think that England is very different from Italy?
Oh yes, a lot different. I found it quite hard when I arrived here because it don't exist anything which I used to eat. An example, mainly spaghetti, secondly pizza, olive oil. Another particular one is in drink, it's wine. No wine, nothing. So I was here 2 years without these. When I went back in Italy after 2 years, my mother said, "How's the food like that? Don't talk about." He said, "What's the matter?" I said, "Well, I never seen no olive oil, never seen no wine, I never seen no spaghetti, never seen no pizza, nothing. Now it's different, everything is here, but not at the time."
So what were some of the your favourite foods from when you were a child in Italy?
Spaghetti for main course, and salami, and cheese by pecorino, you know, come from a sheep.
Are there any unusual foods in Italy that perhaps we still don't eat over here that you had?
Yeah.
What sort of food can you not get over in England now that you could eat there?
Well, it's now in here I can get everything, but still I got the feeling the food in here, as Italian food, is not exactly the same at the time,
Okay.
or if you live in Italy.
Yeah. What did you used to do for fun when you were a child?
Well, I used to make a lot, little small car with a pram wheel, old wheels, and so on. Then also I used to play football, but the team I used to play, I couldn't run very fast. So the manager said to me, "I think I make you a goalkeeper." Oh, I said, "All right, see if I'm any good." Anyway, when we stopped playing, Campobasso and Benevent, which was another city, and finished off 10-0. My team lost. And every time I score a goal, I miss. So at the end of the game, I sit on the wall, and I thought, "Oh my God." And I went like this, but I missed my head. So you can see, I missed a 10 goal and I missed my head as well. He said, "Oh my God." I went like that. So I didn't play no football anymore. I was no good of a goalkeeper, no good for football. I didn't run enough, not fast enough.
Yeah, what did you do for work? Well,
Yeah. Well, work now is near my home. It was a small shop, which was a blacksmith, make horseshoes, and nailed for under the shoes, you know, very big one. And I used to turn a forger. Forges mean it's why you want heating up the metal, and the blacksmith will bend to make horseshoes and so on. See. And but he didn't give me nothing. If I do wrong, he kick me. So I left him. And he come to my home and he said, his name Master Nicola, he said, "You come back and I give you something." Anyway, he felt sorry and I went back. And I carry on there for about maybe 4 years. And after that, I went to work in another garage as apprentice. And so I was most of the time sweeping up, you know, because I was too young to do the job. So then my father's boss seen me, and he said to me, "I sent you to a private school, a mechanic in Rome." Oh, well, that's good. They pay everything and send me to Rome at the age of 14. And I get that on the beginning of January 1943, and September 1943, same year, after 9 months, the Mussolini gave up the war, so what they call armistice, I mean that is finished. So the school was occupied by the German, and I was there 225 kilometers away from Campobasso. They didn't know what to do. And the German kept me with them, and to look after mule, horses, and they gave me half a kilo bread, brown bread each day, and nothing out, and drink with the same water, the tap with the horse and drink. And I never had to change my clothes for 32 days, full flea, dirt, no toilet roll, nothing. So at the end of the 32 days, I made my mind, in and out, I can't get nowhere. That's my life is finished. So I'd taken one more chance of escaping from here. So what I did, I dug a hole in under the fence, and 11:30 in the night, I come out, and I reached the place where the tram from Ciambino to Rome City, and I climb in behind the tram, and I arrived to Rome. And Rome went in the place where my father's friend, he had a pension means hotel. And I stayed there for about 3 days, and I start walking back to Campobasso, which took me 12 days. And when I arrived at Campobasso, the Germans there occupied, and I had to escape again from my home, me, my dad, and my brother. And house a bomb. I don't know where I was in the end. Really disaster. So
I've noticed that you've got some accordions next to you. Can you tell us a bit about them, please?
yes, I always wanted to play, the piano accordion for them, and because my father he had one. He had a small organ which my mother bought when he was engaged, and we had bought another one, very big one, green color, which was smashed up by the German. But I couldn't play that one because I was too young and too big. So I went to learning, and the professor, the name is Tresolino. So I went there 3 months, and he teach me play accordion. After 3 months, he said, "You want to carry on?" I said, "Oh yes." He said, "Well, you got to buy your own accordion." So I didn't have no money, so I stopped. And I was going to carry on play. But as you see here, I got a small one. My father afterwards buy me one of these small one. Then after that buy me old one. But this is not my dad buy that, sorry. That's my mom buy that at the end of when I went back from Air Force. But at my small young age, and I couldn't afford that one. But I always wanted to play piano accordion. And I always wanted to become a professional player, but I couldn't make it. So I only make a noise now.
Is the accordion an Italian instrument?
Yes, yeah. The big one is made in Campobasso. Lost to the tag now. It's made in Campobasso, the town where I come. Izzo e Pesce, the name is still there, where I come from, yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the weather in Italy?
Well, the weather in Italy is January and February, without any doubt, is about 1/2 meter snow. And March is a month which is bad mix. One moment wonderful, another moment is very bad. April starts sunshine, and carry on until the end of August. Most of the time, October as well. So this is a few months, occasionally rain, but it's very, very good, hot. Yeah.
So better than England?
Yeah. Well, when I came here first, it was a July month, which I went Western Supermare with my girlfriend, and I was on the beach, sit on the beach with impermeable, you know, like a coat. And I sent that photo to my mother. And he said, but when you take that photo, it must be January. I said, no, it was last week. He couldn't believe it, you know, how would he get that coat in July, which is, of course, years ago, people don't go around very much. They don't know. I said, well, yeah, it's cold. That's July and June.
How do people in Italy greet each other?
Treat each other.
Greet each other. Like
Oh,
greet,
yes.
like-
Well, in Italy, it's always shake a hand and kiss it on the cheek on the both sides. And that's, don't matter if it's, actually years ago, maybe not so much like the man with the woman, but later on, is everyone a kiss on the both of the cheek and shake a hand.
And what might they say?
Yeah. Well, what are the words to say? Ciao when you go, or even sometimes say arrivederci, and but still maybe kiss twice, and just with the cheek. And if someone maybe a bit distant, you know, they just maybe kiss on her hand, you know, such as maybe posh people. But low class like me, it's just a kiss on the cheek, yeah, each side.
Did you find that very different to how English people greet each other?
Oh yes, because of that. I mean, when I arrived here, it took me to the hostel, which is nobody there, and it was the manager over there. And when he come up and say, "Pleased to meet you," I went there to kiss her, and he moving back, sharp, and I thought. I said, well, what's the problem, you know, because I couldn't speak English at all. I only say hello and nothing out. And so I got an interpreter, and it was a Polish interpreter. And I said, asking him what I done wrong. And he said, well, you want to kiss her. He thought, something wrong with me. And I said, oh, no, I thought something wrong with him because he moving back. And he thought something wrong with me. So I didn't know what was the trouble, because I didn't know. It was the second day I arrived there. Yeah. So anyway, now obviously I understand, not the rule, but the way they're doing in England.
When I was little, I remember watching you make wine. Can you tell us a bit about your wine making?
Yes. We had a 9 or 10 acre ground with around my father's house, and we had a vineyard, and we used to make there round about maybe say 150 gallon, like 300 or 400 bottle wine each year. And when we make it out, my father had a press and a palimiento, what's it called, a big wood base, the pure grapes. And those days, they didn't have no machine with mince it up. We used to do with the feet, wash your feet, of course, and tumbling. And after that, put it in a press. And the wine in Italy, my age, when I was a young boy, it was nothing on the table all the time. Nobody would protect to say, no, you ain't got to drink or this and that, drive, and I think nobody drive, no cars about. And so when I come in England, of course, I miss that because I used to drink wine regularly for my meal particularly. So I miss very much of that. So when I come in England here, I try to find out if it's possible to make some here. And there was a place in here which they call Glastonbury, which was in a continental shop, and used to have a lorry every year. And I used to buy 70 to 80 box, which each box is about 5-6 kilo. And I used to make a wine here in England. I used to make around about 60 to 80 gallon every year. Well, the difference in Italy, like say the rule, an example, the discipline in the school is much more in my time. In Italy it's a lot different. Like say, the discipline was there. All the boys go separate to the girls, never get together. From age start till the end. Even when you're in university, you're still not together. That's on my time I talk about. Then, so the discipline is a lot better, a lot more than here. Like I said, if you go over there 1 minute late, the teaching over your hand once can. The 2 minutes twice, and so on. But in here, it's the other way around. You know, that's the difference. But I think the different as well, they live more comfortable, like such a Christmas time. In here, they're going mad for cars and presents. You know, over there, relax. I mean, I remember the Christmas time with all of my uncle and the cousin all come up home and say, oh, happy Christmas tomorrow. And my mother pick up like such chestnuts, nuts, glass wine. Oh, thank you. Oh, happy as anything. And then they go home. Not to worry about get the paper, rub 'em up a present, get a car. Oh, I forgot, where's your dress? So la vita è molto più tranquilla. That means the life is much more easier.
How has being Italian influenced the way you brought up your own family in England?
Yes, it's quite difficult there and a bit different. When I met my wife, and she was not Catholic and I'm a Catholic, then I pointed out, like, we bringing a family up, but I wanted to be children to be a Catholic, also you. So my wife went to school in a convent here to learn a little bit history about the rule of a Catholic religion. And so the children are born here, and we all are christened in the Catholic Church, and all carry on to go. Of course, the wife will come, yes and no, now and again, but I always take my children to the church. Between the relation in between the church evangelist and the Catholics is not a great difference, but of course it's the matter personally what you believe in. I believe in my religion, Catholic, because a lot of people say, well, how would you know that? But you've got to believe something, and that's how strongly now I believe in Jesus, and I believe all the other rest of the same. And I brought up the children in that way. Of course, when the children come up at a certain age, they may be looking a different way, because obviously it's same as me. I believe it that because that's me. Another one may be different. See, in this world, we are a million people. And when you're going along, everyone got to face it different than another. So that means the same as inside the head. It's different. I believe a Catholic Church is better than a church evangelist. Somebody else say, oh no, that's the other one. Nobody knows. It's just what you believe. That's how I brought up in my family. And very hard to get this sort of situation when the two is not the same religion.
Did you make sure that your own children ate Italian food?
Oh yes, I always make sure my children eat Italian food. Of course, the beginner they never much, but such as when I remember my mother when they were young, always boil a little bit of pastina, very very small fine pasta for the children, and I make sure eat that more than a cornflakes or porridge, things like that, toast or marmalade and toast in the morning. I make sure they would eat in that sort of pastina and bread roll with the salami in, cheese from sheep, which is very good for young children. That's always I look for that.
And did you take your children back to Italy for holidays?
Oh yes. When my mother's lived, I used to go every year for 1 month in Italy by trade. Even when I had the last lot, it was 6 children, which is, I think the old one, and it was about 17, 18, and the young one, Anthony, was 2 years old. And we all went by train, but every year I used to take it to Italy and take it to the beach and take it to the mountain and always visit all of my relations, because I got no separated uncle, my mother, brother and sister, my father, 2 sisters which live in Italy, and I would go around that and we enjoy it very, very much. But of course, the weather was something. Always remember, the weather is a life, and that's what you got in Italy.
What would you say is your favourite thing about Italy?
The sun. Yes, the weather. I used to say the weather is that because, it's maybe 95% you could rely on the weather. If it's the month of July, you may have a storm rain, but okay, a couple of hours or maybe a day or two, no more, then the weather come back right.
Yeah, the sun makes you happier, doesn't it? Yeah. Could you say something in Italian for us, please?
Sì, beh, ragazzi o bambini o adulti sono sempre uguali, cioè cambiare la vita significa cambiare la età, ma bisogna crescere bravo, ubbidiente, specialmente per i genitori, e sempre a dividere la roba, cioè se c'hai qualcosa, sempre a dividerle, a dare qualche poco a un altro. E queste benevolenze sono belle e tu cresci sano e cresci sempre bravo e cresci sempre con molto onore nella tua vita, che questo è necessario, che anche Dio vuole questo.
And what does that mean in English?
Well, this means, like say, when you are a child, don't matter what age, especially when you start understanding a little bit, you must, number one, share everything, obey all the things what your parent particularly telling you to do, and always remember, don't do things on other people or other children what you don't want for yourself. And that you'll be grown up that way, full of joy, honor, and everything could be going well for you.
Okay. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Oh, well, welcome. Pleasure.
Gonna give you Granddad a kiss.
Hang on.
Okay, so, I'll tell you,